Gear constantly changes. The one thing that you brought onto every set last year might be obsolete this year. But there's one piece of gear that I bring onto every set and I can't work without it anymore. And that piece of gear is a camera. Because without a camera, you can't shoot. Thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe. No, obviously it's not a camera. I mean, technically it is a camera because without a camera you really can't shoot, but that's not what I'm talking about. The one item that I bring onto every set are V-mount batteries. But me working with V-mount batteries wasn't always a thing. When I started my filmmaking career and I was walking around with a small mirrorless camera, maybe an external monitor, I didn't really know about V-mount batteries, or I've heard of them, but that was something for the big boys and the big leagues, so I just didn't really want to bother with it. But then when my filmmaking evolved and I used more gear, director's monitors, follow focuses, etc., it really started to become annoying. So in this video I want to tell you why I'm using V-mount batteries, what I'm using V-mount batteries for, and of course what kind of V-mount batteries am I using. And this video is sponsored by SmallRig. And spoiler alert, the V-mount batteries that I am using are from SmallRig and there are various good reasons for it, but I will talk about this later in the video. So let's start at the very beginning. I was walking around with a small mirrorless camera and an external monitor. So I was using just the internal batteries of that camera as well as Sony NP-F batteries for my external monitor. And although that solution worked fine in the beginning, I immediately could tell that there are some downsides to it. Number one, the batteries drained fairly quickly. They also didn't drain all at the same time, as well as I had to bring multiple batteries and chargers. But the one thing that probably bothered me the most was that I didn't really find a way to balance my camera rig properly. Because with a big external monitor and those huge NP-F batteries, it was always very front heavy. If you're using a matte box, a bigger lens, then your rig will always just tip over the front end. And I didn't really like this. And on longer shooting days, I could actually tell that this was not a really good solution. But still, I didn't really identify the batteries as being the source of the problem. So I evolved my gear. I even got into cinema cameras. My first cinema camera was the Canon C200. I then got a Blackmagic Pocket 6K, a Canon C300 Mark III, and then I went on with different kind of cameras and gear. I've then gotten more and more into documentary work, and we were shooting a lot of interviews for those documentaries, but also for a lot of corporate clients. That also involved a lot of traveling and long days of shooting, and here I could really tell that it started to bother me, because I had my Canon R5 as my B camera, my Canon C300 Mark III or Canon C200 as my main camera, then I also had external monitors for everything, and maybe even a director's monitor here and there. And all of these had different kind of batteries. The C300 had different batteries from the Canon R5, the monitors had different batteries to all of them. So when I was traveling, I had multiple chargers, I had tons of different batteries, and like I already mentioned in the beginning, they don't tend to drain at the same time. So when I was filming a multi-angle interview, all of these started to drain at the wrong time. So now all of a sudden that monitor was out of battery, so I had to stop the recording and then stop the interview, so to switch out the monitor batteries, and then all of a sudden camera A started to drain, then camera B started to drain, etc., and it was just a pain. That problem became even bigger when we started to shoot outdoors, on set for music videos as well as outdoor interviews, and we needed to find a way to power our external light sources. And this is where I first discovered V-mount batteries. Because the best and easiest way to just power these external light sources was just via V-mount batteries. And then it got me thinking, why not use these V-mount batteries to also power my external monitors as well as all of my cameras? Because now I could use one type of battery with one type of charger to power all of my devices. And there you go. This was the solution that I was waiting for all the time. Not only did I unify my battery and charger problem because now I only had one type of battery and one type of charger for all of my devices, it also made balancing my rigs so much easier. Because like I said, small mirrorless cameras and even the small cinema cameras with a big lens and a matte box, they tend to get very top heavy, especially with an external monitor that you need to slap a big battery on top as well. So now I could use a V-mount battery at the rear of my camera rig and power everything with it. I could power the camera itself as well as the external monitor and even additional accessories like a follow focus, for example. That battery could not only power my cinema cameras, but it could also power my Canon R5C, my Blackmagic Pocket 6K and all the other small mirrorless cameras. I could also use this to power my external lights as well as a director's monitor, a client monitor, I could power everything with it except for my drones, and if I could slap a V-mount battery on top of my DJI Mavic, I would. So from this moment on, I knew that V-mount batteries are the way to go, and I just want to use V-mount batteries for all of my devices. So now the search for the perfect V-mount battery brand came into play. And I used all kinds of brands throughout the years, and there were some good ones, there were some bad ones, some weren't really reliable, and some just shut off way before they should have, and some of them just didn't have the features I needed. And you might be asking, it's a battery, what kind of features do you need? You just need to be able to power your camera. Yes and no, but you need outputs to power all of your accessories as well. And a lot of the V-mount batteries only have a D-tap out, which is great because you can adapt this to almost everything. You can power your camera with it, you can also power your external monitor with it. But if you only have one of those, or maybe even two of those, that might not be enough for all of your accessories. Nowadays, when being on bigger sets, I need to power a lot of things on my camera. I need to power the camera itself, I need to power an external monitor, I need to power a follow focus, and I need to power at least one wireless transmission system. So that is 4 different devices I need to power off of one battery. A lot of these batteries have at least 1 or 2 D-tap outs and then a USB port. The problem is with the USB port, it's only 5 volts. And even with my follow focus, that oftentimes isn't enough. And I surely can't power my Canon R5C with it, for example. So what I'm looking for is a V-mount battery that has a USB-C out, or at least one of those. And that has to be a PD out as well, because that delivers 9 volts of power. And with this, I can power my Canon R5C, I can power stronger devices like a follow focus, for example, that needs a bit more power. And therefore, I'm a lot more flexible here. And speaking of powering all of the devices, let's give a quick shout out to Anker's Solix C300 DC portable battery station. I've been using this when traveling, and this is absolutely amazing because you have a lot of power to power all of your devices, especially when you're outdoors on set and there's no power outlets, but you still need to do this really important data transfer and backups, but you're afraid that your laptop might run out of power. So you can just easily plug it into the Anker Solix C300 and you don't have to worry about anything. You can also use it to charge smaller devices like a tablet as well as your phone or even microphones, where you don't want to use your V-mount batteries because you need them to power all of your more important devices. Check it out, there's a link down in the description below, and there's lots of Black Friday deals going on right now. So like I said, I need a V-mount battery that can do all of these things for me, that can power all of my devices as well as my cameras, and that is also reliable. And over the years, after using multiple brands, the brand that I found has everything is SmallRig. The great thing about the SmallRig batteries is that they come in different variations and sizes. They come all the way from 99 watts, which is great for traveling because you can take it onto an airplane, and it's also plenty enough to use on a small client or director's monitor or on a really small camera setup. But my absolute favorite is the 155 watt battery solution, and I think this is the sweet spot if you're shooting a longer day documentary and you have a bigger cinema rig and you need to just power an external monitor as well as maybe a follow focus, because this is the right size to balance most of your rigs perfectly. But if you need more punch, we can go all the way up to the 212 bad boy right here. And this has all the power outputs that you need. It comes with PD in and outs. And this is really cool because all of these SmallRig batteries have PD ins and outs. And that means that you can use the USB-C port not only to power your devices, but you can also use your regular laptop charger or any kind of USB charger to actually charge the device as well. And if you've ever been on set and you run out of batteries quickly and you didn't bring enough V-mount battery chargers, it comes in really handy if you can just use all of your other USB-C chargers and just charge the batteries from there. And that is really cool to have. And 212 watts is a lot of power to have because that can run your camera all day as well as some external lights, and even the stronger lights, if you use 2 of those, you can power them for at least an hour or 2 on full maximum brightness. So if you get a couple of these and a couple of the other ones, you can be sure that none of your devices run out of power on even the longest days on set. I also think the V-mount batteries from SmallRig look pretty cool, and they have a really sleek black design, and all of them, even the smaller ones, have a LCD screen, so you can just press a button on the side and it shows you the remaining status, and the bigger one even shows you other data as well. One thing I also really like about the SmallRig battery lineup is that they're relatively compact. So if you just want to power a small mirrorless camera, then the 99 watt is absolutely perfect for you because it's compact, but it still packs a lot of punch. I've also been using the SmallRig batteries for a long time now, and I've had absolutely no reliability issues, and the build quality of these is amazing. And again, I can say this for all of the brands that I've been using in the past. So again, I've steered away from some of these and switched everything out to SmallRig batteries. So to sum up this video, I recommend that you go with V-mount batteries to power all of your devices. Not only your camera and an external monitor, but also other devices like follow focus, video villages, transmitters, microphones, everything. And you can do so with just one V-mount battery. And this is pretty cool. The brand that I recommend is SmallRig, just for their sleek design, their reliability, and all of the features on all of their batteries. Because all of these batteries have multiple outputs, D-taps as well as USB-C, and they also have DC outputs, so you have all the range that you need. And they also have PD-ins, so you can charge the batteries via your laptop charger just via a regular USB-C cable. They also come in different sizes, which you can't necessarily say for all of the other brands, and you have 99 watts, 155 watts, as well as 212 watts, so that covers pretty much everything you need, from smaller light setups, direct to monitors, as well as all the way up to really strong and powerful lights. If you're interested, then check them out with a link down in the description below. And since it's Black Friday, I also have a Black Friday offer for you, and that means that my entire online store is 50% off for my interview masterclass, as well as all the LUTs and the presets and all of the digital products you can purchase on my website. And again, there's a link down in the description below, and this runs from this Friday all the way for 1 week, so an entire Black Week, and everything is 50% off. All right, I hope you liked this video, and if you have any more question about SmallRig V-mount batteries or V-mount batteries in general, then let me know down in the comment section below, and I will try to answer all of them. And I would like you to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and I hope to see you on the next one.